And it's Elimination Chamber weekend.
Yeah, exciting time. Exciting,
Man.
yes.
It's just like WrestleMania. Well,
no,
not
it's
exactly. You know, every year we ask each other, why do they do this pay-per-view? I said pay-per-view. Why do they do this thing? It's money. You know, now that they're going overseas.
They're
with
going
this one.
overseas
Yeah,
and
so.
bringing their Australians with them and make some money overseas.
International stuff. So, but anyway, hey, we're going to talk about the matches. We're going to say who's going to be in here. We're going to tell you exactly what's going to happen because if you're a wrestling fan, you kind of already know what's going to happen. But I don't know. We'll do it anyway.
See it anyway.
Yeah, come on in. Come on in. Let's talk about it. And here we are, the Midnight Riders, episode number 12?
12.
Hey, I'm Johnny.
I'm Chuck.
Welcome back, and we're glad you come to see us. We're going to go over the Elimination Chamber.
Because there's nothing else going on. That's it.
That's excitement personified right there. That if that doesn't make you view and tune in, that's what you need to do. But I mean, you know, the Elimination Chamber. I mean, the match itself is entertaining.
I've always liked the concept of the match. It's good. It was better early on when it was new.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
you weren't.
Well, sometimes this pay-per-view seems forced.
Yeah.
You know, if you go back, you know, get on your Peacock app and go back and look at some of the older Elimination Chamber, you can see some of the guys kind of phone it in. I mean,
they still look for their big moves.
Yeah, and, well, since they can't bleed anymore because of the PG, it takes away.
Hopefully, we're getting away from that.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm hoping to. It takes away from what the chamber was first meant to be. It was meant to be a bloodbath.
Right.
It was created like a war game.
It was a war game.
It was
the answer to the war game.
Yeah. And it was supposed to have all of that where it can look, you know, the combat stuff. It looks bloody. It looks awesome. It looks, you know, then the sweat and the blood and
and glass and
glass, you know,
chains and makes it look cool.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, over the years, it's been kind of a predictable one because it's right between the Rumble and WrestleMania, and it's that filler.
Right. Yeah. It's the who's not going to.
Yeah.
A little bit of the who's going to be in WrestleMania, but then a little bit of well, we're going to give you something to do because you're really not going to be doing much at WrestleMania. So
exactly.
As in the tag team match.
Right. Yeah. So you're going to have to do some things, and
yeah.
And I mean the chamber's fun. The match is usually good. When the competitors that are in it have a reason to be in it. I mean, so anyway, like I said, we're going to run through the matches here, and we're going to put them up on the board up here behind us, so we're right about here on the screen, about right there, so you can kind of follow along and know what we're going to be doing. So I tell you what, let's start right now. Let's just show you the matches up there. If you take a look at them, and there they are. The matches, you know, we don't know if this is the order, of course. It's our guess of what the order might be. You've got Judgment Day and Dunn and Bate, and you got
that's the New Catch Republic.
Yeah, whatever. And you're going to have Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax, and then the women's chamber match, the men's chamber match, and then we'll talk about that last one here in just a little bit as to, you know.
Was that the only match? I thought there was one more match. I guess
no, that's all they've gotten announced right now. So if there
maybe
is,
I was just hoping there was something else.
Well, I mean, it's probably going to be a 2.5-hour event.
Yeah, because each chamber match lasts about
each chamber match will be about 45 minutes to an hour, so you got 2 hours right there with all the, because you know between they're going to show all the rivalries on the videotape, and each one of those is going to take an hour. And
yeah,
so
that's true. That's probably right.
But anyway, I tell you what, let's start with the tag team match, and then I'll go ahead and start this one. I'm going to go with the Judgment Day. I mean,
they should. There's no reason why they would lose it right now.
Well, I mean, the Judgment Day is, Balor. I mean, you're not going to lose to these guys. I mean, I still can't believe they allowed Dunn and Bate to win the opportunity. But then you brought up a good point.
It's overseas.
You know,
and Dunn and Bate's got a big following European wise.
Sure. Well,
They
so does
always
Balor.
have.
Balor had a
And
great one too.
Right, and they're good. But if you pull the belts off Judgment Day now, then which it'll throw things into a whirlwind again because they're really, I don't know, they're kind of off market since the former chairman's done his thing. So
you can say it. Since Vince screwed up,
since
it all came out, and they've changed everything, and then the new, I mean, since The Rock came in and did what he did,
right,
and then CM Punk gets hurt, and then Lesnar's kicked out. I mean,
yeah,
and then Vince did. Then the Vince stuff hits the fan.
I would love to be in the writing room. Week after week.
This is crazy,
and a whole lot of
what
are we gonna do now?
I listen to Cornette's podcast, and he tells a lot of good stories about the about the writers' room and what I mean. Who knows what's going on in there? Yeah, I mean, and it's. I mean,
but even with that going on, like you said, I don't see them pulling the belts off of them. I think this is just a get a good pop for Dunn and Bate out there.
So I'm guessing
they'll cheat. They'll come close.
Go ahead and put Chuck's decision. Okay, so Yogi, I see you took him too. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it's. I don't see these. I mean, it's going to be a decent match. Priest and Balor can carry anybody. I mean, these two guys. I've never been a. Holland Dunn, whatever his name is.
Right.
I've never been a big fan. I mean, Bate, he's still green to me. I think these are mid-card guys.
They are. They just have a good following because of their size and being good and they can do some cool things. I will say this, just on the off chance, Dunn and Bate win this. I say then you need to look out for sometime between the Chamber and WrestleMania for Priest to cash in and get the belt.
Okay, we're gonna have to get to that here later. Yeah. Then, if that's actually,
I'm thinking if that happens,
well,
that's got to be a setup.
Well, it's an option. You know, you and I have been ever since we first started this podcast. For those who just joined us, we started back in January. Go watch all 11 episodes. We've gotten better.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
That's all that matters.
I mean, I've always been great.
Your wife said we're getting better for that.
I've been carrying him most of the time.
Most of my life.
Pause. Quiet. And we're gonna move on. But I mean, it's for Balor and Priest. Golly,
I just don't. I don't see it.
That's why I think they're gonna open the show with it because I don't think anything's gonna unless something weird happens. Well, see, it's Saturday. There's nothing else that can happen. I mean, SmackDown's already been taped, and nothing big came out of that.
No, Raw and SmackDown were.
Well, Raw was brutal. I mean,
shows.
Your go home shows are supposed to. I mean, now they did it on SmackDown. The spoiler alert. This Friday night on SmackDown, you're going to see all the guys in the big chamber match hit the ring at the end and do what they usually do.
Which is what they do.
But I mean, it's. I mean, but then again, the show's going to be at 4:00 in the morning on Saturday, so I'm not going to watch it until I get out of bed at 8, 9 o'clock anyway. But like I say, you and I agree. Judgment Day should walk away with this. I mean, Dunn and Bate will get the. They'll get the cheap pop.
They'll come close. There'll be a cheat of some. There'll be something.
Yeah, I don't know if there'll be a cheat. I think the referee will be distracted or whatever. Right. Dom and JD will be there, of course.
Of course, because they're not doing anything else.
Right, so. and what? Oh, I think we might. I still think we might get a run in by DIY. I mean, I think they'll run in to help Dunn and Bate.
I think eventually when they lose the belts, it's going to be to them.
Right.
That's what
right.
I thought.
I still think that's going to be our Mania match, unless the Priest thing happens.
Exactly.
So I figured Dunn and Bate will be there, and then I look for JD and Dom to come out and start causing problems, and I look for DIY to come out.
R-Truth will make an appearance.
Yeah, and Miz. I mean, hell, they got their. I mean, it's nice what they're building here. A bunch of tag teams
for a change.
Finally.
But real believable tag teams. Not just guys thrown together.
Right. So,
because even Dunn and Bate have been a tag team in the past. So,
So
they're at least trying to do something.
Well, and they're athletic. I mean, they pull it off well.
And it's a little off the Elimination Chamber. We're talking tag teams. Did you watch NXT?
No.
Sorry, but
what did
it's a running joke with us. The Good Brothers showed up on NXT and jumped. So I got a feeling they're gonna be your next NXT champ. So there you go. Sorry, we'll get back on this. We'll get back on pace here. But
why do they let?
They're probably paying them too much money to just be sitting in the
well,
back.
well, same thing with
in the back halls.
Well, same thing with Corbin.
Yeah,
I mean, they had to move him somewhere because they kept changing his persona.
But there's talk about him being, when they moved him to NXT, really helping the younger guys.
Well, and he does.
And
he has.
He's enhanced them. And
he's
done them.
He really has.
I think there was a reason. I don't see that with Anderson and Gallows.
No,
I haven't.
They can't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they had to pull the titles off of Breaker because now he's on SmackDown.
Right. Well, and that's what they're going to do.
Right.
Breaker's got the title with Corbin.
So they're going to lose it.
Yes.
They got to build something, let him lose it so he can move into SmackDown and do whatever he's going to do.
Right.
I think he's going to win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal at the Rumble. You know,
that always amounts to a lot.
Go ask Corbin. Right. I mean, because there's nothing else he can do right now. They haven't built anything for him. They still got him suffering in NXT, and they've got their pay-per-view the day before. The Friday night.
Yeah,
usually
Friday
night.
Friday night.
But anyway, all right. Well, we got that moved. Let's move on to the Women's World Championship. I'll let you start on this one. I guess I predicted the last one. Who are you going with on the Women's World?
They're in Australia. It's got to be Ripley. I mean,
yeah,
it's a bad move to pull the title off her and give it to Nia Jax. Nia Jax doesn't get pops. No, she's not.
No.
She's a perfect heel. I get that,
sure.
But you will lose.
Well, the only way I see Jax winning, it would blow the streak anyway. I mean, they're all about streaks now. You know, Triple H or Levesque. They're all about streaks these days. How long can they hold the title? This one's going to hold it longer than anybody else. And this is a good one though. I mean, Rhea deserves this thing. She's a beast. My opinion, I think she's the best female wrestler I've ever seen.
She can carry anybody.
I mean,
if this match goes longer than 10 minutes, it proves my point again. She can carry anybody.
Yeah, I think. Jax, I'll go ahead and put mine up there. I think she's going to win too. But the only thing I would see if they just want to build up some kind of some kind of excitement. I mean, you did it on the first match. I'll give you something on this match.
Right.
Let's assume Jax pulls off the win. Well, then Rhea gets all pissed off, and she throws one of the women that are going into the chamber out and kicks her ass, goes in there and wins the chamber match since she's in Australia. I don't know. I mean, that's the only thing I think they could do. I mean, Rhea wins this hands down. Nia can't go more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Minute match tops.
I personally think that I don't know if it's going to go there, but I mean, I see an opportunity here. Thinking WrestleMania, and thinking The Rock and Roman Reigns, and the way they screwed all that up, and now that's twisted around. What would be the problem with Nia doing this just because she's the beast, and they go in there, Rhea beats her, blah 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 blah. Whenever the Rock Reigns thing hits, after we assume the Rock's going to cheat at Mania and help Cody, and then the bloodline starts to implode. What's to prevent Naomi to move over there and Nia Jax to move over there, and maybe have two different bloodline factions, and they're all fighting for control and
the old NWO Red and Black.
I don't know. I mean, there's story. For them to come out and put the whole thing on the board. I know it was put the whole bloodline on the board at the press conference. Everybody saw their names. I mean, I don't think you give Nia the belt.
No,
she's not going to win it anyway, but she can't hold a belt.
No.
And so I don't know. I mean, I think this is the no-brainer of the entire match, the entire night.
Nia Jax does what she, quote, I guess, gets paid to do. Come in and everything on the build-up, just like this last Monday night, destroy everybody, blah blah blah. But they're not going to give it. For
those brief 5-minute spurts, she's really really good.
Yes,
because she comes in, she decimates people, she throws them around, and then that's it.
But that's her knock though. She can't sell very well.
She's one of the few females that can get heat yelling at the crowd.
Right.
Which a lot of female wrestlers can't. I mean, Chelsea Green is great. But Nia Jax is one of those that can yell at the crowd and take that time like the old wrestlers used to do, walk around Ernie Ladd and
get some reaction.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, she is what she is. Rhea's going to walk away with this thing easily. She'll sell real well. She'll look good.
She'll take a beating for most of it and end up winning.
In Australia, it's going to be a big deal. We always go back.
They won't pull the belt off of her in Australia.
We all go back to the crown jewel when Jinder Mahal, just because he was in there. And I mean, this is just a beautiful setup for her to give her a little bit of it's almost a year since she won the title, and it's just
they built it. It worked out well because it allowed them to build a monster to go against Rhea.
Sure.
That makes it look halfway believable.
Sure.
And throw all the other ones in the chamber. So it works out. It works out really well.
It works out well. It'll be a good show.
It's a good story.
Rhea carries anybody through a match. She makes everybody look good.
Oh yeah.
Nia's still she's just too big to be great. It's just with today's athletic type of females that are in there, she's good. She can't keep up. So but anyway, that's pretty much a no-brainer. We both agree on that. Now let's move to the Women's World Championship for the chamber match for the winner to go against the world title. Now I thought about this for a little while. I mean, it's obvious that Becky was at the press conference, and so they made it look like there was a stare off there. But if you look at the people on here, you got Becky, you got Bianca, you got Liv, you got Naomi, you got the new Tiffany Stratton, then Raquel shows up again. I mean, there's legitimate reasons for 2 or 3 of these ladies to win this thing.
I had it down to 2.
If Bianca wins, it sets up her and Rhea at WrestleMania, which would be a great match. We've seen it before, but at WrestleMania, and then Bianca could win, and then this gives Jade Cargill a reason to get whatever. But see, Jade's over at SmackDown, and then that's where Bianca
not involved in all this, which is really weird.
Well, she hasn't done anything other than the Rumble.
Yeah.
What are they waiting on?
I honestly thought the Rumble was going to be the starting point to do this.
Sure. But see, the thing, what you've got here is you've got Bayley going against Io for the title at WrestleMania, and they're both SmackDown. So they're going to have to stay on SmackDown. So you can't have Bianca win it because she's on SmackDown. You can't have Stratton win it. She's on SmackDown. Can't have Naomi win it because she's on SmackDown. You got to have a Raw individual win this match to go against Rhea, who's on Raw. So
that's what I'm thinking.
It's kind of a giveaway.
I think it's Becky or it's Liv because they're pushing Liv all of a sudden.
Well,
but Liv's a long shot. I say it's 90-10.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say mine. I'm going to go with Becky simply because of the first of all because she's at the press conference.
Right.
I mean
that was a
giveaway, obviously, and you want Becky hasn't had an opportunity to be that person in a long time.
Right.
They've kept her since I don't know what the reason has been.
Well, I mean, she got pregnant.
Well,
and had that in the bill, but when she came back, I mean, Bianca and Ripley, and I mean, Liv was doing her big thing.
Yeah.
Rodriguez has done her, I mean, there wasn't really.
Slide
her into that.
I mean, Liv, what I saw on Raw a couple days ago, and I saw the friction that they're starting to build between Liv and Raquel. Now I don't know who's going to be the heel, but I see the Liv and Raquel thing getting ready to explode as a reason to have a match at Mania. To give them something to do. Raquel's not ready to be a champion.
No, she's good.
She's still, in my opinion, she's still too worried about posing, and she's not fluid yet. She's not fluid
telegraphs
yet.
A lot.
Liv Morgan is really good.
And she's gotten better. She's gotten better on the mic. She's gotten.
Oh my gosh.
She's one of the best ones out there now. I really like her. Now.
I mean, her eliminations on the past 2 Royal Rumbles have been epic. She sells just as good as Ripley ever did. Her moves are not telegraphed. She's so good at what she's doing. I don't think they're going to let her win this match. Of course, I'm going to go with Becky. She's ready, but I don't think it's going to happen right now.
I mean, she's held the belt before, but I'm with you. I think there's going to be something else because they're making a big deal of her being mistreated or whatever.
Right.
The thing is, that's why I'm thinking she's probably going to go heel, and Rodriguez will go the North.
Well, sure, because they had the tag team.
Right.
So they're going to get mad at each other.
Right.
Something's going to happen
in the chamber.
I think something happened in the chamber, and they'll get mad at each other. You know, we were tag team partners, and now this, blah blah blah. Let's fight, whatever. And that's great. I think those two will pull off a pretty good match.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think it'll be a pretty good, good argument. I don't see Stratton's not going to be. She's not going to be whatever.
I will say, I don't know how much of her stuff you've watched.
I've watched some. She's good.
She's good. She's good. Athletic as hell.
Yeah, she's just not ready for this. She's not going to get that push yet.
I'm glad they've put somebody like her in this.
Yes,
though. It's a good. She's going to do something off the top of one of those chambers.
Yeah.
She's going to do a moonsault. She's going to do something that's going to look impressive.
So is Naomi. She'll do it too.
Right.
You know, Naomi's been itching to get back into this.
Yeah.
You know, she did a lot of good things where she was. She's ready to get back in here, but see there again, she can't win anything because I still think they may pull the women into the bloodline side.
Yeah, because Jimmy and Jay is getting ready to take off.
Sure, and so
go for Mania.
So I don't. So yeah. Tiffany, I will say. So who are you picking on this one?
I'm taking Becky.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm going either Becky and the outside chance Liv.
Right.
But I'm like you. I think there's something else setting up for Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
So I think I think it's Becky's. I think, like you said, it's time. I think they're going to do something. Bianca, I may be wrong, I know, but she's got her TV show going on.
Yeah.
And so I'm really thinking
they won't put her the belt.
I don't think they're going to put the belt on her, but I'm really thinking that's what they want to build Cargill up for.
Sure.
I mean, that's the match.
For what, the belt?
No, I don't think for the belt yet. I think that may be a.
Well, see, she's on SmackDown, so when Bayley beats Io at WrestleMania, do they put Cargill after her immediately, or do they still work this damage control thing? What angle do they play here?
I don't know if they. I would think if they're going to do the Cargill thing, they would have. I don't know. Maybe they do something at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Maybe Cargill. Maybe they build Cargill. You know, there's nothing says Cargill can't come in and cause some chaos and cause Belair to lose or something,
or pin Belair or
do something.
Yeah, cause a problem to create that friction.
I
mean, everybody wants to see those.
Everybody's wanted those two to fight since Cargill started doing her run over in AEW.
Well,
everybody's wanted that to happen. So I think that's what's going to.
No, do they do it as quick as WrestleMania, or do they let it build and do SummerSlam?
If they don't do WrestleMania, because if you look at these, there's not who else are you going to throw in? Unless you build something with Tiffany Stratton and one of them.
Well, but,
there's no other.
This
friction is all of them.
Unless they let her and Stratton go after Bayley over in SmackDown.
No, that's true.
I mean, Bayley's going to win the title.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why she doesn't win the title. Mm-hmm. And assuming she does, I mean, she's going to have, of course, Io's going to want to come back after her. And then you can't let Jade and Stratton just sit there.
No.
They're too big to just let them sit.
There's something else going on with Cargill.
I don't know. Maybe she's still got an old injury or something that's just not working for her.
Or not impressed with something. I don't know. She looked good at the Rumble, I thought.
Yeah. Oh, I think she looks really good.
So
she looks really, really good.
She did everything I thought that she needed to do and looked good and sold, and so I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, I figure, I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know if they're going to let Becky be the Iron Man and start at the beginning, go through everybody, or let her come in the middle,
or not. Just because for the realistic aspect of it, she's not big enough to be one who could realistically last through this group.
No, I think the
entire time.
I think the starters need to be Stratton and Naomi. I think they need to come out and let the two, newest ones, if you will.
Right. I figure the start's going to be Liv Morgan and Stratton.
Think so?
I figured.
Liv can go the full route.
Because Liv can run the whole gamut.
She can run it.
Yeah.
And so, okay. So we both agree on the Becky Lynch. Why don't you go ahead and start on the men and tell me what, just kind of give me an idea of what you're thinking about the match before you tell me who you're going to go for. What do you think about the guys?
This one, with the exception of, my feelings, and the exception of Lashley, why they continue to throw him into this stuff. I know he's got a following, but I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of Bobby Lashley.
No, me either.
They could go. Is another one kind of like the women's that there's 2 or 3 ways I could see him going, but I think a couple of them are just too obvious. I mean, I don't think LA Knight's not going to win. They're not. I think they've pretty much established that he's not going to be a.
He's an ICUS title guy.
Yeah,
he's not a world
he's
title
an upper
guy.
mid card guy. He's not gonna. He's gonna be a chaser. That's what he's gonna do.
Agreed.
I think they're setting up. This is going to be a Logan Paul, Kevin Owens.
Sure.
That's going to Mania more than likely.
Sure. So it narrows it down to.
And Lashley, I don't think Lashley's too big into the.
Yeah, he's got a feud going on with the AOP and
so
creating
so we're down to McIntyre and Orton.
Yeah.
One part of me, this is where I'm like 60-40.
Right.
I think McIntyre's going to finally win it.
Oh, you're going to go with McIntyre.
I think McIntyre.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I would understand if they went with Orton because of the push, but there's just not much going on with Orton as far as week to week with McIntyre. I mean, it's 2 or 3 segments every show. It's
right.
There's something constantly going on, and I think the wild card to all this still is. I don't see Sami Zayn anywhere.
Well, and
there's a big build up on Sami Zayn.
I know. All of a sudden, they're doing the same Sami Zayn bit that they always do. I get no respect. Right. I can't win. I'm so sad. Give me something different.
So that's I'm hoping they do not do something with him and Kevin Owens.
Again. Done. Well, they're on 2 different shows, right. So let's hope that's enough to leave him alone.
But with him not being in the chamber, I don't know if he's going. I mean, he may not be going.
That's true. He may not even be going.
But with all the stories with him, that's just kind of the wild card that could happen in here. Well, I'm going with McIntyre.
Well, with everything you said, I agree with most everything you said. I mean, I'm not a Lashley fan. I think he's every time he's held the belt, whether it be the world title or down to the U.S. title or a tag, he just doesn't do it for me. He's boring. He's boring.
He's a big, strong guy. He can do some awesome looking things.
Well, he reminds me of all the reasons I didn't like Goldberg. Goldberg couldn't sell a hit to save his life.
Same set of moves.
Every time he got hit, he would go like that, and that's the only thing he would ever do. He wouldn't take a chop. He wouldn't fall. He wouldn't hit the. And Lashley, I see the same thing. You hit him, and he just kind of backs up like he's just he can't sell. He's not entertaining enough for me to enjoy him being the upper level.
I don't know if it's because he's got no. Because when he moved to TNA and was their world champion for a long time, I thought he was a little bit better.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe it's an age thing. I don't know.
Well,
but there's just not, like you said, there's just not as entertaining with him.
No, he can't. Bless his heart. I mean, he tries.
The guy's good.
He's
got an amazing amount of talent.
Amazing amount of talent. He for what he does it well. Mm-hmm. I just don't think he's the upper card guy.
No, he's not. He's not good enough. He's horrible on the mic, and he's not a showman.
Well, and they put him in charge of the lead man in a faction more than once. Because they can't find what to do with him.
But the problem with the faction he's got now is that Montez Ford is so much better on the mic.
He's better on the mic. He's better in the ring. He's better.
He's not. Montez Ford's supposed to be like the second or third guy, and he's the best one in that entire group.
Well, and hopefully, what's going to happen is the profits are going to eventually turn on him or something, and then they'll go against each other. Montez Ford's just off the charts good.
Oh man, you talk about a guy with athletic ability. Holy cow! I'm really surprised. I know there for a little bit he was doing a little bit of a solo run, but they kind of stopped it and stuck him back into this deal.
And I didn't get that.
Man, I really enjoy watching him. He's good.
Yeah, he's really good. So. And they're good as a tag team, and like I say, they're going those 3 are going to go into Mania against AOP and Karrion Kross. That's coming.
Oh yeah, that's 6-man.
So that's going to be a 6-man thing at WrestleMania, and that's fine. Lashley's going to come in here because why they let him beat Bronson Reed to get in here?
That surprised me. That really did.
I thought
Bronson Reed's been getting a push.
Yeah, I thought he'd get the cheat. I thought AOP would come out. Or Cross would come out and they'd screw it up and let Reed get in this match because Reed needs this.
Yeah,
Reed needs
perfect
this.
For him.
They've been trying to push him, but
Yeah.
Like I said, I agree with you. The
That
LA
would
Knight
confuse
thing,
me.
he's not going to do it. They're not going to let Logan Paul do it. He's got to have a title match at Mania
Right.
against Owens, and or more. I think it's going to be a big match. I mean, come Mania, I'm probably looking at Paul against Owens and LA Knight, and maybe even AJ Styles.
And maybe Sami Zayn.
That may be a 4-way in there somewhere. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm like you. I got it down to McIntyre and Orton, and here's where I'm going to throw a little wrench in what's going on. Is that I think they're going to figure out a way to have Orton and McIntyre either pin each other, or I think this might be a little, glitch in the matrix here, because I mean, the only thing Orton, why else would Orton come back if he's not going to be at the top of the ladder?
But I thought they would have done it by now.
If he's not going to be at the top of the CM Punk thing screwed it all up.
That's true.
I think they're going to figure now. I've got up here on the board, I got them both being the winner, and I don't know if that's feasible the way they have the chamber match set up.
Right.
Anything's feasible. It's professional wrestling.
Yeah,
but I mean, one way or another, I think we're going to have a Rollins, McIntyre, Orton match at WrestleMania. I think it's going to be a triple threat. I don't know how it's going to get there yet, but it could start right here where they both supposedly win, or one gets robbed, or whatever. I don't see, because if you've got McIntyre and Rollins at Mania, I mean, Orton's got nothing. There's nothing to put Orton, unless he goes against Solo Sikoa. And why?
But that's the thing. They haven't done anything with Orton.
No.
I mean,
at all.
He's come out on these, on the big group things. There hasn't been really a one-on-one for him to Styles a little bit, but that's an LA Knight thing.
Right.
So I'm with you there. I don't know what they would do.
I don't know. You're going to bring back Orton, and he's going to have to be a top dog at WrestleMania because he's Randy Orton.
Yeah.
But there's nothing left for him to do unless he gets in the match. But he's SmackDown too, though.
Yeah. No.
Does that matter anymore? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you may be right with McIntyre winning it. Hell, Orton may win the damn thing. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
but it would.
I think the only thing you can rule out for sure is that Lashley, Paul, and Owens will not. I mean, there's an outside chance they might throw LA Knight. I don't see it.
Knight doesn't get there. Knight doesn't get there. Not again. No, he doesn't get there against Rollins at this point. Rollins has got too much going because of he's going to back Cody, and then he's going to the tag match night one is still being talked about. I don't think you get it off of Rollins with LA Knight here. I think LA Knight has an opportunity he's probably going to come in the match first to get the big pop with his music.
I think him and Logan Paul start the match.
Yeah, but they're the two with the most stamina. So I say they both need to start the match. They both get the biggest pop in the entry.
Yep.
And let's just see where it goes. But I don't think he can't. I think of everybody on that match, I think he's got the least chance of winning this thing. Because Logan Paul probably, because he's got to take his U.S. title in. Right. So I don't.
That's why I think it's down to just two of them.
I agree. It's down to McIntyre and Orton. You say McIntyre. Yeah. I'm going to go with there's nothing else quirky in this whole thing. So I'm going to go. The one quirky thing I think might happen is they both might
figure out a way to
they'll both win. The cage falls apart. They both have their.
That would be cool.
They both have their shoulders on the mat at the same time, or whatever.
That'd be cool. Go a little old school.
Go back to the days. I mean, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's our choices for what's going on and what we think is going to happen. Now let's talk about this Grayson Waller effect.
Cody and Seth.
I mean, Grayson Waller, of course, is from Australia. So, and Theory's going to probably be there too.
And I think a lot's going to be said on when the schedule of the show comes out, where they put this.
Good point.
If they put this in the middle or at the beginning, probably going to be fewer fireworks. But if this thing's at the end or right before, I say if every match goes on in the men's chambers, it goes on right before the men's chamber match or something or that effect, I think then you got a chance of, a Sikoa, Uso, other Uso.
I agree.
Go back to my statement, if the Judgment Day loses, maybe there's a cash-in that happens. Maybe there's You know,
I mean, there's a lot.
Nobody knows how hurt Seth Rollins really is, and
That's
if something happens here, this is my booking talk. Yeah, Balor Priest lose, Priest cashes in on the talk show, Rollins loses his title, then you set up a Cody Rhodes Seth Rollins tag match. If they want to go somewhere different.
Well, that's true. That's an angle.
It's an angle.
I mean,
it's fun to talk about.
I mean, let's say I thought about something that was a little outside the box as well today. I thought about, let's assume Rollins and Cody are having the conversation, and let's say one of them says something that pisses the other one off.
Right.
And all of a sudden they start spatting.
Right. Because they don't like each other.
They don't like each other anyway.
Right.
Cody says, I can take care of myself. Rollins says, you need my help, or whatever the case may be. They end up fighting or getting pissed off at each other or whatever. And that causes a rift. So now we really don't know what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Or if this happens before the match. Because, see, when they set that cage up, it's going to be virtually impossible to tear it back down.
Yeah, when they set the cage up, those two matches are happening.
Yeah, so I don't think it can be at the end of the night. It's going to have to be before both chamber matches, which is when I think it's going. I think they're going to have the tag match, the women's champ, and then the Grayson Waller effect. And
if they have it then there's going to be something that happens. If they have it to open the show, or after the first match, and I think you're going to have a pretty boring. Predictable. Show.
Yeah, it's. I mean, The Rock's not going to go. Reigns isn't going to be there. I got to figure that Sikoa and the Usos both be there, even though they're not in the match. I got to think they're going to make the trip.
Sure.
They keep. I'm really, really, really getting tired of this. Jimmy and Sikoa jumping in and
it's been the same interference thing. They're lacking the story on that now.
Really, ringing the bell Friday night was just.
And Sikoa coming out with his hoodie on.
It felt comical. It's exhausting.
It's bad stories.
Let's stop it. Let's do something different. And I know they're building up, trying to kind of, whatever. But there's just so many different angles they can go with this.
And that's why I don't know why they keep. I mean, they're probably stalled because, like I said before, all the stuff going on.
Right.
They just keep rehashing the same thing. Just like we go back with the Sami Zayn thing. And
sure.
Having Sikoa show up with the hoodie pulled over his head and the spike.
And then Jimmy showed up with the hoodie on his head and rang the bell. Yeah. I mean, it's just run its course.
Yes.
And
something new has to happen.
Well, it's going to have to now. I mean, especially since the universe spoke. The Rock going against Reigns is over. He's going to be a bad guy, we think.
Well, until WrestleMania.
I think he's going to. We think he's going to turn, causing the whole bloodline to explode. And at that point, I think they're going to have to do this cheat thing for 4 or 5 more weeks until Mania, and then it'll all just come apart.
Right.
I'm hoping.
I'm hoping like the week before Mania, there's a little bit of a clearer picture of what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'd like
this. Like I said, the Raw and SmackDown this week. Horrible.
Well, they're bad shows. Horrible. I mean, I think they're going to have to. But do you build any kind of tension between the Rock within the bloodline before Mania, or you just let it be a total shock when the Rock rolls?
I think it's got to be a surprise. I think they got to play the whole "we are one unity" thing into it.
Right. Well, I mean, you've been looking on the internet just like I have with the Rock, doing this and not doing this or this, and with him pointing at Reigns and not pointing at and that's
it could be nothing.
It's all valid.
It could be nothing, but
it's wrestling.
They don't really do those kind of things for nothing.
No, especially him.
They know how the internet is.
Well,
they know people will feed into it.
Oh, sure. And it's sometimes I hate the internet for this because because back in the day we'd be talking about this without any information.
Right. You'd be waiting for the magazine to come out.
That's right.
To find out what happened.
And now we can talk about it with extra information. And some of the stuff you get on the internet, of course, you believe it or not, some of the stuff on the internet is not true.
It's wrong. I know.
It's really not true.
It's the damnedest thing.
It's amazing. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm really glad The Rock did that they turned They'd turn the story around, because the other thing was going to be extremely boring, very predictable. Everybody knows what's going to happen. Why are we doing it?
And again, if McMahon was still in charge, I fully believe they would have just stuck with it and said, the hell with it. They're going to keep coming anyway, so they're going to watch it anyway, and I don't think it would have changed.
Well, I don't think they would have put if the McMahon thing hadn't happened. I don't think The Rock would have
they would have
gotten involved.
This wouldn't.
So, but you know, I hope that they've given up the idea of keeping him as the champion just as long as he can beat Hulk Hogan's streak. I hope that's not in their mind anymore. The perfect situation here is to lose right now.
Yes.
You know, so what's going to happen at the Chamber between Rhodes and Rollins? You bring Grayson Waller in, who's going to, of course, he's going to do his stir the pot thing to try to probably get them pissed off at each other. They might have words. I don't know. I think you're closer to right that I think Jimmy and Sikoa jump to the ring. I think they come in and start doing. Maybe, I mean, I saw another. I saw another one online that said Booker said that, you know, number 3 is ready to go.
Fatu's ready to go.
Number 3 is ready to go. If they bring him, you know, that might get.
I would welcome that. At least it's something different.
You bring him in.
Just don't bring him in a freaking hoodie.
No, you bring him in as you will. You know, they bring him in to jump in, so it's 3-on-2, and then you bring out either Jay or Sammy.
Well, I mean, the Jay would be ideal because they're building the Jimmy J thing.
Right. Well, you know that's going to be amazing.
So
Jimmy J's going to be.
If they did that and brought in Jacob Fatu, Silla Fatu, whatever, and bring him in, and then Jay comes out, and then now you've got another entity in it.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's build.
Yes.
Then you got 4 or 5 weeks until Mania. Now you got something else you can throw in there.
Sure. Sure, and that's some chaos that can go on between you know, you got the two matches there. You put the chaos in the middle. You get everybody talking. Then you bring the women out and do do all that. But if you put it if they've got a way just to lift that, I think they just lift that sumbitch up.
I'm sure there's a way to lift it and drop it. But if they put this Grayson Waller at the end, then you got something.
Well, it's going to hit the fan if they're at the end. There's something's going to happen if it's at the end, and I hope it is. I hope it's at the end.
That would be good.
If it's at the end, there's going to be something go down.
Because you don't have a title match, so you can't. You're not going to go home. You don't have to go home with the winner of the Chamber.
No,
you don't have to, because it's not the guy holding the belt at the end. And whatever else.
Winner of the Chamber. So, do you want to have this big? This big overseas Australia. First time they've been in Australia. First time they've done a pay-per-view in Australia. Premium live event in Australia. And then at the end, you got Drew McIntyre just holding up his hand. That's not.
He won't be holding up his hand. He'll be pointing to the wrestler.
Yeah, doing this. Yeah, of course. Is that how you want to finish it?
So you don't have to end it that way. So if this is at the end, which I haven't seen the lineup yet.
They don't ever give us the lineup.
Yeah. So if it's at the end,
now on the pregame,
that can make it
on the pre-show at 2:00 in the morning. They'll probably, or 3:00 in the morning here our
leave
time.
us a comment, let us know how that goes.
Yeah, they go by, they talk about what they're going to do, how they're whatever, and that'll tell you what's going on. Now, so if this is the last thing, if the last thing they talk about is the Grayson Waller effect, stay tuned.
Yeah.
If they open the show, if they open the show with it, the shit could still hit the fan. If they open the show with it. That could also be but I don't. If it's in the middle, I don't see it being effective.
Right. If it's in the middle, I think you're just going to get a normal run-in chaos, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I just don't. But then again,
if it's at the end, I think that's when you get your.
Now, what about this? Let's talk about this. No. Let's say they go women's. Let's say we open the night with the women's elimination chamber. Let's say the second match is the men's chamber. Ooh. Let's say the third match is the tag match. Let's say then the Grayson Waller effect, and they let Rhea headline it. I don't think it'll. I mean, that'd be a bad match to headline the end though. Yeah,
you're talking a 10-minute match.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I get that she's. I get it's her hometown, but.
No, maybe they let her start the night. Let her get the huge.
See, that's what I
thought.
The
beginning.
Let her run out the night, and. Like I said, the only thing that I think, if it happens to be in the middle, a lot's going to depend on if it's not the opening show.
Right.
If Judgment Day, if they lose,
then
I say you look for Priest to possibly catch them. If they lose.
They ain't gonna lose.
I don't think so either.
They ain't gonna lose.
But
no, they won't lose. There's no way.
Best case scenario,
there's no
they
way.
said the biggest thing that can happen on this card, because everything
Right.
should be pretty, like we said, we know. I mean, should be pretty stat for whatever happens. Right. If the talk shows at the end, that'll be the best thing for the show. Give you something to look forward to.
I think so. I think
I decide to watch it, because it's not going to be at 4 in the morning.
Well, no, I say I'll get up in the morning, have my bowl of Wheaties or whatever, and kick back.
Some of us got to work on Saturday, so I won't be watching until I get home.
I'll go ahead and just text you the entire time. Tell you everything that's going on.
Text me the answers.
Tell you don't even worry about it.
No, yeah, please do, because I don't want to waste 3 hours of my day on watching it.
Well, I mean,
an enhanced Raw show.
Well, that's what scares me about this particular.
I'm with you. The tag match, I don't. They'll put on a good show. Those are 4 good guys.
They'll put on a good show. It'll be a good show, but it's a useless match. That's my problem with it.
That's what I was trying to get at. It'll be a good match, but
there's no story there. Yeah. The only people that have built a story with Judgment Day is R-Truth and The Miz and DIY. Right. They have built a story with the Judgment Day. Then you're going to come in here and let the new Catch Republic take on just because they're overseas. Right. They want the pop, and I guess that's okay. They do whatever they want to do.
Do it all.
It's all money. But you build up these rivalries for a couple of months, and then all of a sudden they go against this team that's just only been there for about 3 weeks. So it's just.
And I think ideally
lets the air out of the sails.
And I think ideally Judgment Day wins, and if they do nothing with Priest, which still irritates me, but if they do nothing with them, then you got DIY and Judgment Day at Mania.
Well, that's I mean, Money in the Bank's not till what, August or April, May, June, whatever it is. I mean, so you still got a while for Money in the Bank. You still got time to cash in. I think what's gonna happen is that Rollins drops the belt at Mania to either Orton or McIntyre, and I don't think Priest cashes in that night. He could. To cause even
now the ideal thing
more chaos
would be for McIntyre to win the belt at Mania, and Priest cashes in that night just to piss McIntyre off.
Sure,
that would enhance that story.
Sure, that enhances that story, and then then Rollins can take his well-needed break. Right. Then you've got Orton and you've got McIntyre and you've got you'd have Priest with the belt, and you have Balor sitting there wondering what the hell's going on. And, then Priest has to give up his tag title and give it. So that would create so much fun.
And get off
and so much chaos, which is
R-Truth thing.
What we need. So I don't know. I mean, the pay-per-view is always, or the live event is always interesting. It's going to be interesting being in Australia. Never been there. The crowd's going to be fired up because it's a brand new event. I wish The Rock and Roman Reigns would show up, but.
Everything I've seen said they're not. But well, who knows?
We would already have the rumors, and they'd already have him.
Again, if it's on the last of the if it's at the end of the show, anything's possible. Yeah. Anything's possible.
That's true. But anyway, that's our Elimination Chamber guesses for the upcoming event this Saturday. If you get up early enough, I don't know.
Face, you're not getting up that early.
I don't know why you would.
You're still going to be awake.
I mean,
if you're up at 4, you're still awake.
From the night before. So I had to get you some hangover food and turn on that TV and watch it and go to bed about. Be done about 6 o'clock in the morning? No, about 8 o'clock.
About 8.
Be done about 8 o'clock, and then you get you some sleep. So, but anyway, I'm excited to see it just because it's just another advancement in the storylines, and let's see.
Hopefully,
let's see if they can't line up Mania a little bit better.
Do something with it, right?
Yeah, they're going to have to. The TV episodes have not lined anything up. They've just been they've been shooting blanks out there, and we don't know what's going on. So this will give us an opportunity, hopefully, start that road to WrestleMania and get going.
Yep.
So we appreciate you coming in and checking us out. If you got any comments, we'd like to see some down on the bottom. More subscribers. We're up to 32 in about 6 weeks, so we're doing okay.
Need more. Get the word out there.
Spread the word. Let everybody know how smart we are, and everything that we know is
gospel.
Look at us. I'm telling you. But anyway, appreciate you coming by. If you got any comments, please leave them. Give us a like. Give us a follow, and for goodness sake, spread the word for us. You got anything else?
No. Be looking forward. We got a couple of probably little short podcasts coming out, and then once again, just for everybody to know, baseball season's coming. We'll have a preseason baseball coming out.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we're going to have a couple other guys come in and sit with us for a preseason baseball deal, and we're going to have a couple of guys sitting in with us to do a WrestleMania preview.
A couple of round tables for everybody.
to get other opinions besides ours, even though ours are
to be
right,
wrong, but whatever.
We got to have somebody we can tell them they're wrong. So, okay. Anyway, appreciate y'all coming in. We'll talk to you soon.